Have you ever wondered why we keep walking toward the very things that will destroy us? Not just as individuals, but as entire civilizations. Why we fall for the same lies, make the same mistakes, worship the same false idols over and over again. It's as if there's something inside us, an ancient itch that craves our own undoing. And maybe there is. Because if you're being honest, you felt it too. That strange pull toward the toxic relationship you knew would end badly. The temptation to procrastinate until the deadline crushes you. The fascination with leaders you know are corrupt, yet you can't look away. We tell ourselves it's ignorance or bad luck. But what if it's something much darker, something woven into the fabric of human nature? Nietzsche once wrote, "Man would rather will nothingness than not will." He believed that our hunger for meaning is so strong we'd rather destroy ourselves in the pursuit of it than live in a meaningless calm. That's why we sabotage our own peace. We mistake chaos for purpose. History proves it. The fall of Rome wasn't just the result of barbarian invasions, it was a slow rot from within. Lavish excess, corruption, bread and circuses to distract the masses. Citizens traded freedom for comfort, truth for entertainment. Plato warned about this in the Republic. When democracy decays, people don't resist tyranny. They welcome it because the promise of safety feels sweeter than the burden of freedom. We think we're too advanced for that now. But scroll through social media for 5 minutes and tell me we aren't living in a modern coliseum, cheering for the spectacle while the walls crumble. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Destruction is seductive. Machiavelli knew this. He observed that people are drawn to leaders who embody strength, even cruelty, because deep down we equate ruthlessness with survival. We are comforted by power, even when that power turns against us. That's why entire populations have worshipped dictators, why corruption can be dressed up as patriotism, and why lies, repeated often enough, start to taste like truth. It's not that we can't see the danger. It's that part of us wants it. Destruction promises transformation, a cleansing fire, even if it burns us too. But this isn't just political, it's personal. Think about your own life. How many times have you returned to habits you swore you'd break, reached out to the person who hurt you, said yes to the thing you knew would drain you? Psychologists call this self-sabotage. Bonhoeffer might have called it something closer to moral stupidity, not an absence of intelligence, but an absence of moral will. We make choices that harm us, not because we don't know better, but because knowing better doesn't satisfy the craving. There's a strange thrill in the fall. The moment before the crash when you feel weightless, free from consequence. It's intoxicating. There's an old myth that captures this perfectly, the story of Icarus. His father warned him not to fly too close to the sun, but the warning wasn't enough. The sun was beautiful and its warmth was irresistible. And so he rose higher and higher until the wax in his wings melted and he fell. Most people focus on the tragedy, but ask yourself, in those final moments, did Icarus regret the flight? Or was he grateful for having touched the sky, even if it killed him? That's the paradox of human nature. We fear the fall, but we're drawn to it anyway. The modern world disguises this urge in new ways. We chase dopamine instead of glory, likes instead of laurels. We trade depth for speed, meaning for distraction. And all the while, we feel a creeping dissatisfaction we can't name. So we seek a bigger rush, a deeper chaos. But here's the question. Is this inevitable? Are we doomed to be our own executioners over and over again? The Stoics believed we could resist. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If we train our minds, if we develop discipline, maybe we can resist the pull toward ruin. But even he admitted most people won't. Most people will follow the crowd, even if the crowd is marching off a cliff. And here's the twist you might not want to hear. Maybe that's okay. Maybe destruction isn't the opposite of creation. It's part of it. Forests burn so new growth can emerge. Old systems collapse so better ones can be built. Sometimes we have to let parts of ourselves die so something stronger can live in their place. The danger is when we mistake destruction as the goal rather than the path, when we burn everything down but forget to plant anything new. So, what do we do with this knowledge? First, we have to stop lying to ourselves. Stop pretending we're purely rational creatures who always act in our best interests. We're not. We're driven by instincts older than civilization, impulses that whisper to us in the dark. We have to see them clearly, or they will control us. Second, we must learn to separate the necessary fires from the reckless ones. Growth often demands sacrifice, but not all sacrifice leads to growth. You can't keep setting your own house on fire and expect to find shelter. And finally, we must remember that destruction by itself is empty. It's the rebuilding that gives it meaning. Civilizations will fall. Leaders will lie. We will make choices that hurt us. That's the cycle of history and maybe the cycle of life. But if we can face our destructive urges without letting them rule us, we might break the pattern, if only in our own small corners of the world. Because in the end, the question isn't whether humanity will destroy itself. The real question is, when the ashes settle, will you be among the ones building something worth the cost?